Yat and good afternoon. I'm so excited, caregivers. This is our first Let's Talk Caregiver, and we have the Native American Disability Law Center here to let us know what services they provide and what they are doing. Ladies, do you want to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, all. My name is Benita McCurry with the Native American Disability Law Center. I am the intake specialist and the program manager for the Benefits Enrollment Center. And just an introduction of myself in Navajo, Sheya Benita McCurry Nishia. Kilachi Nishoki Ani Bashichin, but Ani Dashid Shade Adoshi Dashanala. Den hot soda e ayisi nasha. Yeah.
Great. Hello, everybody. My name is Valerie Johnson. She'e Ashin Shweto Anagani Bashichin. I'm originally from Gallup, New Mexico, but I reside here in Farmington. I'm an advocate with the Native American Disability Law Center, and I've been here about 12 years now with the Law Center, and it's so good to be here with you guys. Valerie.
Yes, I'm so excited. I hope you guys have your drink with you. I've got my cup. Oh, I love yours, Valerie. Ooh, yours is really pretty too, Benita. So I'm so happy that we can come back together and talk about what you guys are doing and what services that you guys have for our caregivers. So
Yeah.
go ahead. One of you guys can take over.
just an overview of the law center. Our office is in Farmington, New Mexico. We had another office that opened in November, and that location is in Flagstaff. We have been in existence for over 25 years, and I've been with the Law Center for almost 6 years right now. A lot of the work that we do as a protection and advocacy agency is that we assist Native Americans who have disabilities. The issues that we accept are special education program, discrimination. If you are trying to get assistance in living in public unit rentals with the Navajo Housing Authority, we do also serve as a guardian ad litem. Our attorneys serve as a guardian ad litem. We also do juvenile justice. We also do advocacy for people with disabilities at the tribal level on the Navajo and Hopi Reservation. And that's with our Nishishan campaign. And
that's right. So being the Native American Disability Law Center. So that includes our brothers and sisters from Hopi, Zuni, Pueblo. I know there's a couple more there. So you help all our Native American, and that includes Navajo. And you said you have a class. You have a, almost said you have a class. You have office in Farmington and in Flagstaff. That's amazing. So you can cover. But right now with COVID, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing is phone calls, right? And maybe Zoom calls.
Yes, there are some of us who are in the office, mainly the admin staff, and I am here at the office. The advocate, there's some advocates that are working remotely, as well as the attorneys. If someone calls over here to the office, we take down their information. We take as much information as we can, and then we forward it over to the advocates and the attorneys. They review the information that we send them to see exactly how we can assist them.
That's
and we
right.
I'm not sure, did they need to be the hours of our office?
Our office is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday.
So Friday's an off day.
Yeah.
So I love how we can call in as caregivers or somebody with disabilities that needs help. they can call into your office and you guys go through this whole qualification process, like what Valerie was saying as well. That's so funny. Not me, Valerie Johnson. She was saying, you know, you call in and they get all of this information because they want to qualify you for these benefits. And the ones that we're really familiar with here on Navajo, and a lot of times that we might need help filling out some of those paperwork, would be like SSI, LIHEAP, which is dealing with weatherization, SNAP, insurance, and Lifeline. So those are sometimes those forms are very complicated, especially with LIHEAP. I know that we have some caregivers who have some issues sometimes. So I really appreciate that. And you guys try to get anybody that's calling in and letting them know about their benefits.
Yeah, and we do serve as a benefits enrollment center. We got funded through the National Council on Aging back in 2018. And over the 80 plus BECs, the Benefits Enrollment Center across the US, we are the only one that serve Native Americans directly. We go out into the communities, or we used to go out into the communities prior to COVID, but right now with the tribe, you know, lockdowns, we just haven't been doing a lot of those. But however, you know, we try to get our information out there. And you mentioned, you know, some of the benefits people can qualify for is LIHEAP, SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare, Prescription Part D, and Medicare Savings Program. And there are a lot of questions that are asked to qualify for those benefits. And, you know, we are also bilingual, and we do a lot of the translations or the interpretations in Navajo. We get calls from grandmas that say, "Dila ha'i aisne do elit ina ashanadil kiddo ha'ila natsos yanade chitanoda." So we, you know, if somebody calls that isn't fluent in English, you know, we are here to, you know, provide those type of services that we can explain to an individual in Navajo. I think that's the Social Security aid, nidayokid, or electricity, the utility statements, those kind of things, or chiyan benalsos would be like food stamp, those kind of things. So we're able to explain all of those to folks that do call us.
Awesome. Did you guys want to elaborate a little bit more on your Nishat campaign, which I think is an amazing, you know, Nishat, like what about us? So I think that is very amazing. You let us know a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the Nishat campaign is spearheaded by Hosky Benali, our government liaison. He works a lot with the tribal leaders, the council delegates. There was a civil rights law that passed for individuals with disabilities back in 2018 when Ben Shelley was in office. This allowed, you know, people with disabilities to have accommodations be made for them, like accessibility into chapter houses when it comes to voting, or people who have disabilities have the right to work, or you know, they can't be discriminated against due to the disability, services like that, and to provide them accommodations and housings like public rentals. And they're currently working with the Navajo Housing Authority in regards to those. So those are just some of the things that we are trying to raise awareness. We had a disability walk back in 2019, I believe, a couple of years ago.
I was going to say about a year or 2 years ago. I remember hearing about it in Window-Rock, and I think they walked from Lowe's to the Capitol.
Yeah. So we had like President Jonathan Nez and a couple of other delegates that had joined us. And they were also having some other awareness activities during that time. So it was a combination of both. We had a good turnout at that time.
That was pre-COVID. I really wish we could have done a little bit more. Again, it has been a little bit of a struggle, but we're trying to get, as much as we can get out there. And then you mentioned earlier too, that you guys had 25 years of
Yeah.
service on, for the Native people. You want to let us know a little bit more about that as well?
Yeah, that Therese Yannon, she's our director and executive director here with Native American Disability Law Center. And it so happens that when we used to go out to different organizations or outreaches, I would say Therese Yannon, and some of the Navajo elderly, they would remember her vividly, and they go, "You mean Estasnes?" Because Therese is tall. She's a tall white lady, and that's how they would associate with her. But she started Native American Disability Law Center 25 years ago. And, we are having a celebration on May 7th. It's all going to be, like safety measures are going to be there. And we ask the people if they want to come, they need to be either a drive-through and pick up their lunch and just give us a wave, just to lift up the law center, with all the work that we've been doing for 25 years. So we're all excited about that. We
That
do
is
have
so awesome.
Yeah.
So we're
Can't
going to
wait.
make sure to have all of your contact information, which is your phone number. And then again, you guys are open from Monday through Thursday from 8 to 6 p.m. and your website as well. And I guess we'll even have your address there so we can have some free lunch on May 7th.
Yeah, and visit us on our website, like you mentioned, Valerie. It's www.nativedisabilitylaw.org, and we do have a lot of resources on there, like for Parents Guide for Special Education. If you have a child that does have an IEP or a 504 plan and is not, receiving the services that he or she needs, you can feel free to contact us at our 800 number, 862-7271. It's 800-862-7271. Again, the National Council on Aging does also have a lot of resources for caretakers as well.
That is so great. I'm so happy to have met you guys and the Native American Disability Law Center. And I think that you guys do such amazing work, and we need to get more of these resources out there for our caregivers and the public. And I just had more of a general question. I know that there was a case that even the president was talking about last year, and maybe it started like several years before that, but it was a case in New Mexico with the Navajo, a Navajo family that was for the schools. I know it was big in the paper. Oh gosh, I wish I had more of the names and just making it preclude, but I know that the president mentioned that case as well, on how the school system was not being helpful to a person with disabilities, a child, and they wanted to have those better services for Navajo. And I thought that was amazing to kind of have that type of exposure.
Wow.
Yeah, and the mom, like the parent, was a special guest speaker with the EPICS program out in Albuquerque. So yeah, that was a big news on, folks. A lot of folks feel, their child isn't getting the services that he or she needs within the schools, especially during COVID. A lot families don't have access to the internet. They are lacking transportation. Their child isn't receiving the one-on-one services. So those are some of the issues that the law center's attorneys do address. And we do have 5 attorneys and 4 advocates that do work with the law center.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to just remind people about advocacy and that, you know, what is an advocate, you know, and it's like somebody who speaks up for you. And sometimes it could be really hard and difficult to kind of do that sometimes and not know, and maybe feeling helpless as well, you know, but you have these rights. You know, people with disabilities and caregivers also have rights as well. You know, whoever you're caring for, your loved one has rights. And the fact that your office is there to help, you know, our caregivers in that way. And even if they might have a question,
Yeah.
they don't really know, but they understand that something is wrong. And I'm pretty sure you guys get calls like that too, to kind of talk those problems through and say, hey, okay, there is something wrong here. Then maybe you can say, oh no, this is the process and that's why it went like this. And that's very important too, taking some time to just talk to our caregivers and, you know, to the public on some of that stuff, because it can get very confusing.
Pretty much. And we do also have a school with Gray Hills Academy in Tuba City. We work with the high school students to become self-advocates. We have one of our advocates out of the Flagstaff office who goes out there, or is currently doing Zoom meetings, but she used to go out there and, you know, teach about self-advocacy and say, you know, be your own advocate when it comes to IEP meetings or your 504 plan meetings. You know, and like you mentioned, Valerie, you know, you teach them how for them to speak up for themselves and say, hey, you know, I want to graduate high school with a diploma. How can I do that for myself? How can I get from point A to B to, you know, be a better citizen out when I get out there?
Absolutely. That's what I love about your organization and the fact that you guys just do so much good work. And just thank you so much again for coming on. And is there any last words you want to share with us before we sign off?
Yeah, and don't forget to go on our website. They have some webinars that are coming up in regards to different issues like the vocational rehabilitation issues that and Annette from the Flagstaff office and Donald and Hosky are doing, just to get the word out that, you know, you guys are all not alone out, you know, with this, that you have help, you have support, you know, and glad that you're able to do this, Valerie. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. I think that is very important for all our caregivers, just to remember that you're not the only one. And that's why we have, you know, the Native American Disability Law Center, and we have Valerie and Benita to help, you know, get you through the weeds and some of these things, because it can get very confusing.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
say thank you again, and we're so excited, and thank you for joining us for Let's Talk Caregiver, and hope you guys got a lot of information. If not, we have their website, we have their phone number, we're even going to have their address so you can meet
And
them and get some
Facebook.
free lunch on May 7th.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Oh, and
Yes.
Facebook as well. Well, we have them tagged in our little section here. So make sure you go ahead and get on there and get some of these free services. Oh, I forgot that too. These are free services with the Native American Disability Law Center, and you can get all of your benefits and more questions, you know, just letting you know that these resources are here for you.
Great. Thank you,
And you
Val.
guys have an amazing, amazing day. We'll see you next time.
Go on there.
Go on it.